Yeah, you can start if you want.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Gordon Watt from the Neil Squire Society. Unfortunately, Nate couldn't be with us today, so I'm sort of subbing for him, talking about the WorkBC Assistive Technology Services programme. I'm with my colleague Khadija Malik, who is going to be doing some demonstrations for us in a little bit. And we'll try our best to answer a few questions, depending on whether we get any before the end of the session. Okay. To start off with today, we've got our land acknowledgement. We'd like to provide that for everybody. So I would like to begin by recognising the Indigenous peoples of all the lands that we are on today. While we presently meet on a virtual platform, I would like to take a moment to affirm the importance of the lands which we each call home. We do this to reaffirm our commitment and responsibility to cultivating relationships between nations and to refining our own understanding of local Indigenous peoples and their cultures. WorkBC Assistive Technology Services acknowledges the territories of First Nations around BC and is grateful to carry out our work on these lands. We acknowledge the rights, interests, priorities, and concerns of all Indigenous peoples, First Nations, Métis, and Inuit, respecting and acknowledging their distinct cultures, histories, rights, laws, and governments. So to start off with, I thought we'd give you just a quite a little bit of background to Neil Squire. What BC Assistive Technology Services is actually operated by the Neil Squire Society. Neil Squire himself was a 21-year-old university student from Victoria. He was at Victoria University, but he was originally from Nanaimo. He was injured in a car accident back in 1980. He sustained a C1 brainstem injury, which left him paralysed from the neck down. So he was unable to move his arms and legs, and he's unable to breathe independently or speak. As a result of his injury, and to help him communicate, Neil's family, along with some dedicated professionals, developed a groundbreaking device that allowed him to speak with the use of a sip and puff device, and also some Morse code. Unfortunately, Neil passed away back in 1984. But a small but mighty band formed the Neil Squire Society in his name, and it's used to keep improving the lives of people with disabilities through technology. Now, moving on to some stats here. Did you know that roughly 25% of over 15-year-olds in BC identify with having some form of disability? Despite high rates of post-secondary education, the unemployed rate for people with disabilities is about 50% higher than non-disabled population. So to help sort of combat that, and to help to try and get people back into the workplace, workplace accommodations are one of the things that we try and help through our program. And workplace accommodations don't have to be to be expensive. A workplace accommodation for a person with disability can range from a sort of simple solutions right through to sort of high tech solutions, depending on the level of disability they have. And on average, the accommodation that the person, the cost of the accommodation to overcome that particular workplace barrier is about $500. What I'm going to call it ATS from now on because it's a bit of a mouthful, but ATS can help employees or those training to become employed get workplace accommodations they need, as well as covering the cost of assessments and training by the skilled occupational therapists and assistive technology professionals that we've got in our organisation itself. So, moving on to talking about the ATS program itself. Um, Basically, what we do is we provide assistive technology services and supports for people with disabilities and barriers like chronic pain to help get them back, gain and maintain employment, self-employment, and community attachment, such as volunteering. Um, Workplace-related assistive technology solutions can be tailored. So it's not to the sort of person's individual needs. So it's not a sort of cookie cutter solution to these particular solutions. When it comes to the solutions themselves, assessments that are done by our sort of in-house occupational therapists are covered and will help to provide the solution there. As far as the availability of the program is concerned, clients can access the services right across the province, and if where services are offered in person, they can come to our offices, or we also do the services virtually as well. As far as eligibility is concerned, assistive technology services is available to individuals who have a work-related barrier due to the disability or functional limitation. It could be the likes of back pain or that sort of limitation. And they may include barriers such as travelling to and from the workplace. Okay, to be eligible as part of the program itself, you need to be a registered resident of and legally entitled to work in BC, and you must be above 16 years of age. As far as the need for equipment, and you need the equipment, or assistive technology equipment, or devices, or disability supports to start work or avoid losing your current work, your self-employment, or volunteer work, which may be done as part of a long-term solution with a goal to getting employment itself. So as far as the assistive technology services are concerned, we're very flexible. We work to your schedule and accommodate your particular needs. We offer services in a simple and straightforward manner. And no matter where you're located in the province of BC, our team can provide help to get through to each step of the process itself. And most importantly, is it's client-centered. So you're involved in the decision-making process to provide the sort of supports tailored to your particular needs. Now, as far as the sort of available supports are concerned here, we do have a number of different supports that the ATS program can actually offer you. So there's assistive technology devices and equipment and technology. So that's going to be sort of computer hardware and software. There's also, if depending on the environment you're working in, there could be ergonomic supports, like ergonomic furniture, height adjustable tables and chairs, and also the ergonomic chairs. And for some people, lighting systems can be involved as well. So if lighting, for example, for myself, I sometimes get headaches and migraines from lighting systems, and depending on where they are, and that's something that they can provide specialised lighting for. We've also got restorative supports, which include canes and crutches. We've got the American Sign Language interpretation as well, depending on the environment you're working in. One of the ones that we've offer quite a lot of is the communication and hearing devices. So, for example, hearing aids. We've got our own audiology department at Neil Squire that Heather does a great job in doing all the hearing tests there. We've got workplace access and modifications for eligible employers as well. So we have covered the cost of the likes of wheelchair ramps to help get people into the offices that they might be working in, and probably I would say the most expensive thing that we've covered is vehicle modifications. So if you can't reach the pedals on a car, for example, then they will change the setup so that it's hand controls that people use instead. To give you an idea of the sort of assistive technology that is available as far as hardware and software is concerned, we do have a quick slide here on some of the examples we've got here. So there's a few sort of keyboards, a compact keyboard there. We've got something called the roller mouse for people who can't use ordinary mice. We've got a vertical mouse here, the one that's I'm highlighting there at the moment. We've got number pads, and we've got some ergonomic keyboards here. We've got the trackball mouse itself, and over towards the left-hand side here, there's a video magnifier there. We've also got some glasses similar to the ones that I'm wearing, which help to block out blue light from monitors. And there's a series of hearing aids there at the back as well. And to finish off this particular slide, we've got some monitors. So we've got some lights there as well that provides the increased light within the office itself when you're working in front of the computer. This actual setup there is some of the equipment that we've actually got in our Assistive Technology Services lab. So at our office in Burnaby, we've got over 100 different devices and software available on site that the program can actually host sort of assessments in-house, and we're probably one of the most extensive in-house assistive technology labs in Canada at the moment. Some of the equipment that's within the lab that wasn't covered in the previous slide there, we've got our ergonomic seating, so there's quite a few chairs to try out there. We've got some sit to stand workstations, so if you have to get up and move around in your office during the day, then there's examples of that. As I said before, we've got some ergonomic keyboards and mice. There's low vision products that, for example, the handheld magnifiers, and we've also got low vision software, Zoom Text being one of them, and also JAWS. And we've also got a variety of other sort of assistive technology software and programs, speech recognition software, for example, Dragon, and word prediction software such as WordQ as well. As far as the ergonomic assessments are concerned, our occupational therapists will conduct an ergonomic assessment of your particular work environment in order to try and accommodate your particular needs, or the needs of the individual who's intending taking part in the program, as well as their sort of specific work that they actually do. The effective ergonomic assessments lead to increased ability to work and reduces workplace barriers and symptom aggravating factors. And ergonomic assessments can be carried out in the work environment, including home office as well. So if you're not in the immediate vicinity of one of our offices, which I'll be able to give you the addresses to shortly, we do have sort of virtual assessments as well that we conduct on a regular basis over the internet, depending on your particular needs. As far as accessibility is concerned, accessibility. Our facilities are fully accessible according to the Rick Hansen Foundation accessibility certification. Our team of assistive technology professionals, and also the occupational therapists and the administrators, have extensive experience working with people with a wide range of disabilities. Our program has been going since 2019, and we've had quite a lot of people with varying disabilities through our doors. And in order to make our services accessible to people from BC, we can also offer the services in over 20 languages, and we strive to be as inclusive and a safe environment for all the clients we're actually working with. We thought it would be a good idea to sort of give you an idea of the success stories of the people that some of the people who've taken part in our programs. So we've got, for example, Eduardo here. He's a care assistant, and he was suffering from hearing loss. And through our program, he had a hearing assessment, and he received hearing aids. And as he says here, that he finds that he appreciates how difficult how he doesn't have to ask his residents or co-workers to repeat themselves anymore, which can lead to increased stress within the environment you're working in if you have to do that all the time. And he says he can now hear all the residents and co-workers. And he feels the difference in using the hearing aids. So, and I think it also has increased his confidence as far as providing the care that he does there. So, because he's working in a care home, he has to make sure he's listening to everything that's going on there. So, his hearing aids will help him to do that, including all the residents as well. Um, We've also got Robin here, who's a delivery driver. She suffers from chronic pain as a result of a car accident she was part of. So what they did was they've done some vehicle modifications on her car, which included an extension to her steering wheel, and sort of specialised armrests, and also a supportive cushion as well that she can use when she's driving. And she said here that the disability supports have helped with the pain, fatigue, and difficulty in doing her job due to the injury. Says having my vehicle modified to accommodate my disability has been invaluable as my job enables me to make ends meet. I honestly don't know how I would manage before, how I was managing before, and don't know how much longer I could have done it had she not had taken part in Assistive Technology Services itself. And the third success story we have here is Randy. He's part of the non-profit, was a non-profit member, an elder in residence at Vancouver Island University. Um, Randy is blind, and so he, as part of his particular solution, he received Microsoft Office. He also received Reaper audio recording software and editing software. So he's using it to edit tracks that he's recording. And so he's got a digital recorder as well, and he's also got a Snowball external microphone. And he also received training. I believe that the training could have been from Khadija when she was interacting with Randy. And so he found work as elder in residence for the Nanaimo campus of the Vancouver Island University, which he credits to the Assistive Technology Services program. He said himself that retirement's not for me, but I did not have the necessary technology to enable me to be productive. The equipment and software enabled me to immediately become productive again, and the assistance of the Assistive Technology Services program has greatly aided him in his career advancement. So he was at retirement age, and he wanted to give back a bit more. He found if he had using the services of the program, he was able to do that. So, as I said before, we've got our office locations here, just to give you an idea of where we are located. Our head office is in Burnaby, and it's just off Henning Drive, close to where the Gilmore SkyTrain station is. We're also located over in Victoria, down by Fort Street. And we're in Nanaimo as well. We've got an office in Nanaimo on Skinner Street. And in Kelowna, we're on Gilmore Avenue in Kelowna. Now, these are offices where people can go and get assessments and things like that. And we can also connect with those particular offices to do the assessments remotely as well, if we need to. How do you apply for the program? Okay, is probably the most important thing we need to discuss today. Basically, it's you can, if you're an individual and you're interested in the program itself, you can either register virtually online or in person at using the online employment services or OES portal, and the address of which is on the page there. It's apply.workbc.ca. For clients who've got an open case with WorkBC Employment Services, your employment services case manager also needs to send a service request through what they're calling the integrated case management system, or ICM as we call it, to Assistive Technology Services. So you need to make sure that your case manager was involved as part of the process, so that they're aware of the request for assistive technology. If you wish to apply, we've also got the WorkBC app that you can use. I'll leave this up on the screen for a few moments. If you've got a cell phone and you want to take a picture of the QR code that's there, you can get through to the Assistive Technology Services program a bit quicker. Save you doing some typing there. And I'll leave it up for a few seconds there. And then moving on from there, I'd just like to ask if there's any questions initially. Then what we can do is we've got Nate, who's in the picture here, who's one of our contacts. There's, as Nate says in his particular closing point here, there's 5 million people in BC, but there's only one Nate. But he spreads the word about the program himself, but he's also asking us to think about which, if there's someone in particular who could benefit from assistive technology services. If there is, then you can use one of the methods of communication there for connecting. So we've got info-ats@workbc.ca as the email address here. You can also visit the website, which is www.workbc-ats.ca. We've got the toll-free number 188 453 5506, and there's also a local contact number within BC, which is 778 945 1211. Okay, so those are the contact methods. They'll get you through to our office, and what will happen is, depending on your particular question, it will get routed through to someone who's able to answer them, and then what we can do is take it from there as far as the applications are concerned. Okay, now we've got some time left, so what I was going to do was hand it over to my colleague Khadija, who is ready to sort of do a quick demonstration of some of the technology that we can use, that we give out to the people taking part in the program, depending on their particular disability there. Okay, so I'm going to stop my share just now. I will see if I can stop the share here, and I'll give it over to Khadija.
Hello, I'm Khadija. I work in the Distance Computer Comfort and the ATS program and the Solutions program, doing training, a lot of the assistive technology training. I tend to work mostly with people with vision disabilities, so low vision blindness. Because we work with, different groups of people, we'll come across people who have multiple challenges, multiple barriers. And so we try and keep up to date with multiple software technology so we can help everybody. I'm going to share out my screen, and I have a playlist ready. So what I'll do is I'll start with, oh, sorry, hold on. Let me just do, oh, 1 second. So we've got some photos first, and I'm going to make this, tell me if it's full screen, okay? There, full screen? Okay, so this is something, during the presentation, Gordon had a photo of our lab, and there were some cool mouse and keyboards on there. I've just taken a few photos from for a few of those devices. So this is a vertical mouse. And for people with arthritis, for people with carpal tunnel, it's great because the way you hold it, if you hold a mouse like this, you get a lot of pressure on your wrist. But if you hold it this way, if you hold it vertical, you don't get as much pressure. And it's it's not super expensive. And so anybody who has any hand issues, tremors, pain, it's good for them. I don't have anything, but I like it, so I use it too. So it's one of those low cost, low tech AT, as we would call it. So that's a vertical mouse. And let's see the next one. Okay. Oh. And we'll go. Okay. So this is a more high-tech device. This is the Kensington trackball. This type of trackball, if you see this red ball here, so you don't actually move the mouse like we move like this. You don't move the mouse. Instead, you move that ball, that red ball, with your fingers. So you move it with your fingers, which means you don't use your hand to drag the mouse around at all. Instead, your hand is stationary and you move it, you manipulate that ball with your fingers. Again, for people with arthritis, for people with tremors, this is another solution. We have done this for people with gripping challenges as well. So people who cannot grip, quads who cannot grip. For them, if you have mobility, even a little bit mobility in your fingers, you can use this mouse. So that's an example of a vertical mouse. If you notice on the side, there are some buttons as well. So instead of the buttons being on the top, you have them on the side, so you can use it with your thumb. So for people with less dexterity, we would use this mouse for them. Let's see another example. This is another example of a trackball. This is the one, the ball's on the side, the buttons at the top. Again, really depends on the person, the dexterity, and sometimes also feeling. Like I had somebody say that I have some sensation in my forefinger, but not in the rest of the fingers. So we had to try out a couple things because clicking and then the ball, right? Like you've switched basically, you click now with this and you move the ball with your thumb, right? So it's a different type of a trackball, still a trackball. You still stay stationary. You just manipulate with the ball. But what fingers are you using? Or are you using the thumb? That's where the question is. And I think that's it for the. Okay, so that was just a few examples for the mouse that I picked up. Does anybody have any questions before I move on to the next demo? Any questions? You're welcome to put it in the chat or no? Okay, so let's start. So this is a video that some of our OT put together a couple years back, maybe longer. It's a very simple video that is talking about chair adjustment. So when you're sitting in a chair, ergonomics of the chair is also something that OTs consider. A simple basic office chair that's not adjustable is not really great. If you need back support, arm support, neck support, the OTs would do an assessment to figure out a good chair that has those supports. And this next video basically shows how to use those features. So I'm going to start there is some audio as well. Tell me if you can't hear it, okay? Let's get started.
Welcome to the Neil Squire Solutions Chair Adjustment video. Over the next 2 minutes, we will explain how to sit in your chair as well as how to adjust your chair. Let's get started. To sit in your chair, you want to be in neutral posture. Neutral posture describes a position that places the least amount of stress on your body. What you want is your head in line with your body. Your shoulders should be relaxed with your elbows by your side. Try and maintain around 90 degrees at your elbows, hips, knees, and ankles. Lastly, you want your feet to be flat on the ground.
A properly adjusted chair will help your body maintain neutral posture. Here are some common adjustment features found on many ergonomic office chairs. Please note that the adjustment mechanisms shown in this video may be different than those found on your chair. You may be able to raise or lower your seat height. To lower your seat height, pull on the correct lever while sitting in your chair. To raise your seat height, pull on the same lever without placing your body weight on the seat. You may need to stand up a bit. You may be able to change your seat angle using the correct lever. It may be tilted forward by leaning forward or backward by leaning backward. The angle of the backrest may also be adjusted using the correct lever. It may be brought forward by leaning forward or backward by leaning backward. The backrest height may be adjustable on some chairs. If this is the case for you, adjust the height of your backrest so that it is providing support to the curve of your lower back. The seat pan may be pulled forward or pushed back in order to fit the length of your thigh. Make sure to leave 2 to 3 finger widths between the back of your knee and the edge of the seat. The last adjustment is the height of your armrests. Adjust your armrests to be at a height where your arms are supported and your shoulders are relaxed. In the description box below, you can find a PDF summary of the tips shown in this video.
That was the video for the chair adjustment. Does anybody have any questions for that? Any other thoughts? So that was one of the ergonomic chairs that we have in the lab. When the OTs do assessments in the lab, we have, I think, about 15 chairs with different sort of headrest, different size, different features. We've also got some very funky looking chairs, the ones that you may see at the bank, for example, like a foot, like not a proper chair, but like a seat rest, I think you can call it. But when they do the assessment, it's like you sit in the chair and you figure out what works better. And that's how they do the assessment and recommendation. All right, we'll move on to the next set of videos. So the next is computer related stuff. So I've picked a couple different features between different devices. So the first one we're going to watch is adjusting screen text size on your MacBook. So if somebody has a MacBook, somebody has vision challenges, and they need to enlarge the text to read for better reading, there's a feature called hover text, which this video will show you now.
Hi, I'm Harvey from Neil Squire, and today I'm going to show you how to use hover text on your Apple computer. With this feature, you can quickly enlarge blocks of text that are on your screen. This can be useful if you have low vision or if you just want to improve the readability of web pages. To start, click on the Apple logo on the top left corner of your screen. Now, from the drop-down menu, click on System Preferences. Here, click on the blue Accessibility icon. From the options pane on the left, click Zoom. Now, in the main window, click on the box beside Enable Hover Text to activate this feature. To start using hover text, press and hold the Command key on your keyboard and then hover your mouse pointer over the text you would like to enlarge. The enlarged text is now displayed in a pop-up box. If the selection is too long to be displayed at once, simply scroll within that box to view the rest. Text size, font, and other settings can be changed through the options menu on the previous accessibility window. If you are a person with a disability,
There we go. So that was the video for hover text on the Mac. Any questions? There's a similar feature on Windows as well. Windows just calls it large text and zoom. I don't have the video for that, but You'll notice that because now each system, they're so competitive. So what you find in the Mac, you'll be able to find it in the Windows, maybe in a different form, maybe in a different sort of, it may not be as good, as bad, as same, same type of feature or not, but there will be a version of it. Same as if on the phones. If you're using an iPhone, if you're using an Android, very, very similar features. Of course, some may be better, some may not be as good. So there's some variation in their usefulness, but they're there. And sometimes when we do the recommendation, we'll do the trial on the computer to see what solution we want to do. So this is an inbuilt solution, but if we need something else, we'll do a determination for that as well. So any questions? I'm going to go on to the next one.
Hi, in this view.
So the next one is related to the voice. So voice features. So we're going to watch on the Windows computer if you have very limited hand mobility, or if you have difficulty typing because you have difficulty spelling, because you're a slow typer, you can use your voice to type, and you can use your voice to control the computer. So the first video is to simple dictation. It's an inbuilt feature. Anybody can use it as long as you have a Windows computer. So it's a bit of a detailed video. I'm going to start it and you can see where and how you can use this.
We're going to show you the new Windows 11 dictation with punctuation feature. So the dictation feature has been around already in Windows 10, where you could have it type what you're speaking via your microphone. But with Windows 11, they added some punctuation features to kind of help make it a little easier. So let's see, we have this notepad thing here right now. So if we do Windows key plus H, we bring up the microphone. But as you can see, it just continues on like it's one sentence without adding punctuation. Maybe if I say add a period to the end of it, period. Or we could say, is this a question, question mark? But it'd be nice to be able to do this without having to say the punctuation, and also to have it capitalize the words as we go along here. Okay, so we're going to delete this here. Then we're going to go into the settings here. So there's the auto punctuation. So we turn that on. And then there's this voice typing launcher, which will kind of give you a little thing down here so you don't have to do the Control H every time. So we'll turn that on. Let's click off it here. So now you can see when we type in or click in the box here, it brings this thing up automatically. And then, so let's see what happens here. Now we are going to try the auto punctuation feature. Can I ask a question? As you can see, it's adding the punctuation as we go along. If you just pause after a sentence, it will know and put a period at the end. And if you ask a question, it will put a question mark. And you can see it capitalizes the first word after it makes a new sentence. But if you want to add something like an exclamation point, you will still need to do it because it doesn't know if you are getting excited or angry. So if I go, this is making me mad, exclamation point. Now you can see it puts the punctuation there. Anyway, so as you can see, it's much better with the auto punctuation enabled, and this is kind of neat too. So if you use this feature a lot, then you could just turn this on, and then every time you click in a box, it'll bring up the little guy there, and you could go from there, and then you could still, turn this off if you want to just, if it's bugging you.
There we go. So that's just the inbuilt dictation. Anybody can use it, but it is a form of what we would consider like basic dictation, because all you're doing is using your voice to type it, to transcribe it to text. Some people use it on their phones as well. If you have an iPhone or if you have an Android, Siri, sending text via Siri, sending text via Google, using dictation on the phone, they probably have used that already. So when we try and test it out on the computer, it's something that people do like. And because it's free, not a lot of setup, basically just took like 2 minutes. And after that is just practice. So Windows does get better the more you use it. And it won't make spelling mistakes. So it will never make spelling mistakes. It has a little bit of difficulty with accents. But it is a useful feature and free.
Especially the Scottish accent.
Yep. Any questions for anybody? Okay. We'll move on to the next one. And so the next couple demos are for a paid program called Dragon Naturally Speaking. This is a premium voice control program. So it does dictation, but it also lets you control the computer. So for a person with very, very, very limited or even no hand mobility, we would try this out if their speech was okay. If we would then recommend this program. And because it is a complicated, it is a complex program, so it does require training. So when we do recommendations, we also do training on the software. So the next couple demos are something that we would do training during the training sessions. So the first one is to search on Google using voice and navigating on the internet. So everything that you're going to see now is by voice. So first, I want you to focus at the top, like over there at the top. You'll see the search term open there, appear there, and then it will open up and you'll hear the command and you'll hear the navigation. If you need me to stop at any point, let me know, but we're going to start now.
Neil Squire Society.
That was a search term that just got typed at the top.
Press enter. Click Neil Squire Society. Choose to.
So here what happened is you're on the Google search results and the command was to click Neil Squire Society. So what Dragon is trying to do now, it's picked up every single block of Neil Squire Society. That phrase, however many times it's appeared, it's put a number against it. And the next command was to click on number 2. So number 2 is this one right here. And this is what's going to open up right now on our website.
Page down. Page down. Go to top. Click About Us. Click Mission.
And so right now we've given the commands again for click here About Us. There's only one place where About Us is there. So we don't have the numbers again. We're just clicking About Us. Something else popped up and we're choosing from that menu. So we're going to click on that menu there.
Close window.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Any other questions for Dragon on the internet? I'm just going to give me 1 second. The next one, I thought I loaded it. Give me 1 second. The next demo is for Dragon on the Word document. So so this is, it's a bit of an older video, which is why you see a little bit of older looking Word, but commands have stayed very similar and it behaves very similarly too. So we'll just have a look at it.
Hello, comma. Welcome to the Lunch and Learn, period. This is a demonstration on Dragon, comma, a speech recognition software, period. Using just my voice, comma, I'm able to dictate text directly into a document or email, comma, edit and format my text, and navigate through the computer, period. Select paragraph.
So far, it's been very similar to the inbuilt dictation that we saw in the previous video. So dictation, Dragon can do dictation, but this is where you can see the unique Dragon features now. So the next few commands are, you won't be able to do that using Windows because it's not a Windows thing. This is now a Dragon command. So here we go.
Change font size to 18. Change font color to red.
If you were doing this manually, you would be taking your mouse and you would be going to that toolbar up there and clicking on those buttons. Dragon has commands, so that's why we're able to use voice commands to do that.
Select computer. Bold that. Underline that. Italicize that. Go to end. New paragraph. Insert a 5x5 table.
Again, if you were to do this by yourself, you'd have to go to the top there. You would click on another menu, insert, and then you would go table. And then you would choose how many boxes in your table. Here we were able to do that in one simple command.
Tab. Go down 1. Move left 1. Go to row 3, column 4. Insert row below. Select table. Delete table. Page up. Open Google Chrome.
There you go. So all these commands that we did for editing, for adding that table, for selecting it, formatting it, these are all Dragon features. And this is where this is where you would need the training, because as you can see, multiple different commands. Very, if you think about the command, natural language commands, but you have to remember that. And so that's where the training comes in. Does anybody have any questions?
It's more a comment than anything else. But as far as the assessment is concerned, when we've got someone coming into the office, there is a computer set up with Dragon on it, and what we will do as part of the assessment, depending on your particular disability, as well as Dragon and the inbuilt Windows software, we've got a number of other programs that we can test with you as part of the assessment, so that we can provide a sort of specialized approach as far as the assessment's concerned. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you might get Dragon from this. It could be that the inbuilt Windows is the program that your dictation that you're using as part of the assessment, depending on the sort of circumstances of your disability. But as far as the inbuilt version of the dictation is concerned, it's free, and people can, if you're having problems with your typing and things like that just now, you can turn it on if you want, and you can try it out in your own time. It's quite a good program when it works and when it recognizes your accent. Obviously, it's something that it does work pretty well. Okay, I'll let you finish off.
Does anybody have any questions? Oh, wait.
Okay, I'll take the opportunity to answer that question quickly if you want. King has asked how long it takes to get a vertical mouse. It really depends on the assessment and how busy the occupational therapists are. We go through a process where we do the intake process first to start off with. Then we get to the assessment stage, because it could be that the vertical mouse is something that is part of an overall solution rather than just the one solution that's there. And then what will happen is you'll get the vertical mouse as well as the solution. And again, if there's any training involved on top of that,
And there's also
sorry, we're going to say.
There's also different types of vertical mouse. I showed you one example. There are other types as well. So like Gordon mentioned before, we have to do the assessment and then we can make a recommendation. On the web, and you're like, oh, maybe this will work. And maybe this will work.
Yeah,
But
we wouldn't want to
um,
do, we wouldn't want to do this, do the assessment and just say, okay, we're recommending this particular vertical mouse. We would rather make sure that you trial out a few of the vertical mice, because sometimes particular types of disability, especially if it involves like RSI and repetitive strain injury and involves your wrists and your hands, it's sometimes these mice can aggravate situations if you're not if you get the wrong type of equipment. So we want to make sure that we're trying to do it correct the first time round, rather than having to try several mice over time. So that's the main idea for doing the assessments.
okay. Last video for today is on, so this was for people with mobility disabilities, people who have difficulty using their hands. We're going to switch a little bit, we're going to switch our focus a little bit for people who are blind. For them to use the computer, they would use something called a screen reader, which reads everything on the screen. So the screen reader reads out the buttons, the messages, and the way you interact with the computer is through keyboard commands. So you're not using the mouse, because if you're using the mouse, you have to drag your pointer, and that can become very tedious. So you use keyboard instead. There is a free inbuilt Windows, but not super, like I would only recommend that if somebody's like, oh, I just want to do one specific task and that's it. But for people who want to do emails, want to browse on the internet, in a workplace setting, JAWS is the name of the program. We would do recommendation, and we would do the training on JAWS mostly. So that's where I come in for the most part. So we're going to see a very quick demonstration for JAWS on Outlook. So if you've ever used Outlook for email, this is going to show you how to navigate Outlook very quickly. So let me just try that.
How to save or open attachments within an email. I know an email has an attachment because JAWS will speak it when I'm in the email list. We heard one a moment ago. I'll press down arrow to find it.
Unread. Attachment. Dan Clark. Test.
So this was a down arrow, and it's gone to the email. It's read out the email person's name, the email subject, and they're going to show you how it's going to read the email now.
Email for Outlook webinar. 3:55 p.m. 2 megabytes.
I'll open it, read the email, and then choose how to handle the attachments.
Test email for Outlook webinar dash message left paren HTML right paren. Message has 4 links. From Dan Clark. Subject test email for Outlook webinar.
For now, I'll just press insert down arrow to say all.
Hi there. This is a test email to use with the Outlook webinar. Dan.
Okay, and I'll press.
And you can see how they used a keyboard shortcut to read everything. It read more than what the person may want. So there are other shortcuts that you can use to filter out the other stuff. But now they're going to go to the attachment.
Control Home to go back to the top of the message.
Hi there.
If it's just one attachment and I know what I'm expecting, I'll press Shift Tab and Enter to open the attachment. However, if it's several attachments, I'll choose to save them all first so I can review them from within a folder. I'll do this by pressing Shift Tab to move to the attachment area.
Fusion key bullet points .doc 60 kilobytes 1 of 3 attachments button.
Then Alt plus down arrow to view a list of attachment handling options.
Alt down arrow, menu.
So with the mouse, you would have taken your pointer to that little arrow over there, and then you would have clicked that arrow, and you would have seen the same menu. They used a keyboard shortcut to do that.
Preview.
From here, I choose Save All Attachments.
Open. Quick print. Save as. Save all attachments ... Leaving menus. Save all attachments dialog. Attachments : OK button. Save all attachments dialog. Folder name : edit.
And then go through the normal saving process.
Freedom Scientific.
There you go. So lots of keyboard shortcuts in that little task where you would have just, for a person who's sighted using the mouse, they would have just gone click, click, click. But keyboard user needs to memorize lots of shortcuts, which is where, again, the training comes in. But that's the JAWS program. Does anybody have any questions? I think we did pretty good on time.
I think as a comment about JAWS, anytime I've had interactions with people who are vision impaired and are using JAWS, the speed at which the JAWS is being read out just now during the video there was a lot slower than it normally goes. For people, you normally find that they jack up the speed quite a bit to run through it, and it's almost, the fingers are almost in flames, and you see the smoke coming off them if they're navigating through the keyboards quite quickly. So it's something that when someone is learning how to use the program that Kateja does a training for, you tend to find that the people will pick the keyboard shortcuts up hopefully quite quickly, and will be able to navigate through to the to what it is that they want to do. Just as a sort of comparison with that there is another program called NVDA, which is the sort of free equivalent for that, and they've got similar sort of keyboard shortcuts as well. So if for example you didn't qualify for the program, then there are always going to be other sorts of shortcuts, other sorts of solutions that could fulfill your particular needs if you didn't qualify. But hopefully we'll be able to facilitate everybody in the program. It really depends on how the application goes. Okay, I'm not sure if anybody else has got any additional questions, but if you wanted to, we've got the I can put the address again of the info address into the chat so that everybody has it. But I'll read it out again just so that everybody's got it. It's info-ats@workbc.ca. If you want to send any sort of queries through to that address, we're able to help sort of facilitate applications, and hopefully you are someone who's got a disability who would like to take part, or if you want to sort of pass on the information to the people concerned. This particular webinar is going to be available on I believe YouTube and also Facebook, and it has been recorded for so you can play it back later on if you want to go over again what we've covered today. Okay, all I've got to do is thank everybody for turning up today. If you do have any questions, as I said, you can send them through, and hopefully we should be okay with that. Okay. I'm dealing with the language list. Yep. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for attending, everybody. We hope this was useful, helpful.
Yeah, really helpful. Thanks everybody for coming.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.